Hi, I'm Brian Kohatsu, and I've been a comedian since 2003, and before that, I've been a media producer since 1989. Now, a lot of comedians ask for my advice about getting a good video clip together for a quick video demo or maybe a festival entry. So this video will give you a few tips on how to record a better set. Now, keep in mind that these tips are for the person that's trying to record a demo with their smartphone or maybe a small camcorder. So I'll provide some general information to help you make your video look and sound better. But remember, this isn't film school, it's just a quick video to help you out. We're gonna look at three key things: the venue, the equipment, and you. Let's start with the venue. You wanna pick a venue that has good lighting, good sound, and has a great audience. Also, consider picking a venue where you know the owner or the manager and you have a good relationship with them and they're willing to work with you. Also, some of these venues provide recording services for a small fee. Now, sometimes it's free, but you might have to pay a little bit. They might have a sound tech in the back who might record with a small camcorder, or it might be a service like Rooftop Comedy that's set up in the club and they'll record for you too. So just make sure you check with the venue first, because this could save you a lot of time and money. You want to ask for sample videos so you know what you're getting. Now, most of the time these videos are pretty good, but you'll want to see them beforehand just to kind of make an informed decision. But let's just assume the venue doesn't record, okay? You always want to ask permission to record in a venue. Now, even if you're already booked on the venue, still ask for permission to record. Most clubs don't allow recording at any time during the shows, but be polite, say please and thank you, let them know why you're recording, and usually they'll have no problem with it. Now, the next thing you want to do is ask the venue where you can set up your camera. Now, they know the venue way better than you do, so they probably, and I hate to burst your bubble, you're not the first person to record in their club. So they'll know where to set you up. They'll know the best place for you to set up to be clear of the aisles, to stay out of the way of the waitstaff and all the guests. Remember, you're a guest at their venue, so be thankful and, work within their guidelines. Don't be a jerk. Once you're set up, see if they have the ability to adjust or dim the lights, and also see if they have available outputs from their mixing board. Now, this may come in handy when we start talking about equipment a little bit later. Let the venue know that you'll be recording some test footage a week or a few days before, and you want to do that during a show to see if there's any issues. Also, let them know that you'll be arriving early the day of the recording to get set up and make sure there's no issues the night of the actual recording. Let's look at the equipment. Now, it's impossible to speak to every camera and smartphone on the market. So, in order to keep this video relevant for years to come, I'm not going to mention a model of a camera or even the model of a smartphone, okay? So it's the responsibility of the person recording to know and understand the equipment they're using. Now, I encourage you to read your owner's manual, if they still make such a thing, or to experiment with your camera. Homework, you say? Yes, homework. Crack a book, pretty boy. So, you've got your camera or your smartphone, and I highly recommend a tripod to keep it secure, and headphones so that you can monitor what you're recording. Next, I recommend, and you can use this not just for this, but for the rest of your life, I recommend a friend. That's right, a friend. Somebody who take care of the recording for you while you stay focused on your set. Someone who can hit record for you instead of you doing it and having to worry about things. They're going to make sure to keep you in frame if you move around a whole lot. Also, you don't have to worry about somebody just walking off with your equipment when you're not looking. You can rest easy is what I'm saying. Now, you and your friend want to go out and shoot some test footage under the actual show lights and make sure that the lights are not too bright. If they are too bright, you run the risk of looking like a glowing ball, or you look like that guy performing in the middle of a nuclear blast. So we simply need to do one thing here, which is find the iris or exposure. And what you want to do is you want to adjust that down so that you're not bringing in as much light. Now, if the image is too bright and your camera's not making the adjustment, what you might need to do is, first of all, if you have the luxury of a venue that can dim the lights for you, have them dim the lights down. This should take care of the problem. Now, if that's not an option, try getting closer to the stage by physically moving your camera closer to the stage. This should actually take out some of the extraneous lights and everything else and should be able to compensate for it. So hopefully that'll work. Now, one other thing that might affect the lights is what you're wearing. And we'll talk about that a little bit more in the next section, but that'll come up here a little bit. Again, without getting too complicated, your camera should be able to capture the audio fairly well. As long as you can hear yourself and the audience laughing clearly, this is all you need, unless they're not laughing, and then I don't know why you're doing this. But anyway, but some of the venues have very simple audio setups. They don't have mixing boards, so you're not gonna have any other option except to actually take whatever room noise is collected from your on-camera mic, okay? So again, as long as it sounds good, and that's all you're looking for, then you're good. Now, for you more tech-savvy watchers, if you have the ability to take an audio signal from the venue's audio mixer to your camera, that's always the best sound. Now, the biggest drawback is the audience laughter will not be too loud unless the venue has actually mic'd the audience. Now, this is where the venue puts a mic above the audience and is bringing in that mic signal into the mixer to increase the sound of the laughter in the room. If you have yourself and the audience in that mix together, then you're gold. Work with the sound man and try to get your levels correct for your camera. Now again, if you're tech savvy, then you can, if that doesn't work out for you, you can always record audio separate to a separate audio recording device. And then you can sync that audio up later with your video. You can record from the venue's audio mixer board, and you can also mic the audience separately if you're taking it into your own recording device. Again, if you're tech savvy and you can handle that, great. If you don't know what I'm talking about, thanks for listening. So we'll keep going. So bottom line, just make sure to check your audio levels and make sure that you monitor your sound through your headphones. Run some test footage, play it back, verify that the video looks good and that the sound is clear. Make additional adjustments as needed. Again, this should be part of your test footage weeks or days before. Don't do this the minute the show starts, or it's just crazy. There's so much going on. Don't do that. Make sure you plan and you're there accordingly ahead of time. Now, this is the most important part about equipment. Now, make sure your camera is fully charged and you have enough memory to record. Bring your power adapters, your extension cords, multi-strips, whatever you might need. Just make sure that you have power. Check your phone to make sure you've got enough space to record, If you've got a video camera, make sure you got enough memory on your SD card or go buy a new one. There's nothing worse than hearing somebody say, well, everything was going great, but then the camera stopped and I only got the first minute, okay? Don't be that guy. Also, another guy I don't want you to be, don't be the guy that records like this, okay? This way, it's not, no, what movie have you ever watched? Unless you're shooting to be displayed at a Walmart signage, maybe, in a store, great, shoot like this. Horizontal, it's the way it's always been, people. Golly, go to a movie, watch television. It's all this way. Rant over. Anyways, moving on. Okay, we've covered equipment, we've covered the venue. Now let's talk about you as the performer. Now, you have your venue, you have your audio, video, it's ready to go, and now it's just up to you. So, hey, no pressure. Now, I can't stress this enough. Know your material, know your audience, rehearse, just be prepared. Go over your material over and over. Make sure that your set is as tight as it can be. Now, this is the time that you shouldn't be trying new material, okay? Go with what you prepared. Avoid crowd work, unless that's your thing, but if it's not, avoid it. You might get a dud crowd. You might pick on the wrong person to talk to, and it might be just horrible, so stop it. This is your demo, so keep to your prepared material. Also, keep to your time. If you're looking for a good 5 to 10 minute video, make sure that's what you have. If you're doing a longer set during a show, maybe 15 or 30 minutes, make sure that your 5 or 10 minutes that you want recorded are all together, unless you're planning to edit. But most festival entries require an uncut video, so keep your material that you want in one section in your set. Hopefully, you're doing 2 shows that night that you're recording, so you can always choose the best one to use, for your demo. So that kind of takes care of your content, but let's talk about what you're wearing. I mentioned in the lighting section that what you wear will have an effect on the iris or the exposure. Now, be aware of the lighting in the room. White is the worst thing you could wear under spotlights. You'll look like a glowing ball on stage with no head. Now, earth tones always tend to work best, so stick with those types of earth tones in kind of a medium to darker shade. Now, much of that depends on the stage colors and the lighting, so make sure that you're wearing something that's complementary to the venue that you're in. Don't wear a red shirt if the stage curtain behind you happens to be red, because that'll make you look, again, like a floating head on stage, and you don't want that. Now, also be aware of your skin tone as well. If you have lighter skin, it's going to require less light because you already have light skin and the lights are already bright. It's the same thing as the shirt. If you have darker skin, it's going to require more light for you. Again, wear kind of earth tone color, maybe in a darker shade too, and that should work out great. You should look fantastic. But just keep in mind what you're wearing, when you go to the venue and the lighting situation. Hats. Hats cause shadows, okay? So let people see your face. Your mother's out there in the audience going, "Where's my baby face? I want to see it." And you're wearing a hat. Okay, fine. If hat's your thing, I get it, okay? That's great. Just be aware of the light. Keep your head up, or you got to tilt your hat up a little bit, maybe wear it backwards, I don't know. But whatever it is, try to keep that light on your face so everyone can see your face. Make your mom proud. Unless you don't want people to see your face for whatever reason, great. You should have picked radio as a career. Anyways, that's all you need to know for that. So, again, if this is your demo, dress to impress, be comfortable, wear something that represents you, feel good about yourself, relax, and just be yourself on stage. And now a few final thoughts. No matter what, you'll probably hate something about the recording. Now, you didn't get the laugh by the one joke you normally get the big laugh with, or the staff walked in front of the shot during one of your punchlines, or somebody's phone rang, or somebody dropped dishes, or whatever it may be. It's impossible to get it exactly perfect, but hopefully you'll get a usable clip for your demo. Now on the flip side, you may love your video, and that's fantastic and great. I would urge you to take a look at that video again 6 months or a year down the road. Hopefully you're going to see a lot of improvement in your set, and you're going to want to shoot a whole new demo at that point. We covered a lot, but we didn't cover everything by far. There's so much we skipped over, but I tried to cover as much as possible. So I hope this helps. Now, if you have a question, shoot me an email at brian@briankohatsu.com, and remember to put video tips in the subject line, and I'll do my best to get back with you quickly. Have a great set, and we'll see you again.